Welcome. Please turn your attention to our interpretation team.
Bienvenidos. Favor de prestar atención al equipo de interpretación. Voy a dar este mensaje en español y luego en inglés. I'll be broadcasting this message in Spanish and then in English. Hola, mi nombre es Abraham y junto con Irvin estaremos interpretando en inglés y español durante la sesión de hoy. El crear espacios multilingües no es solo la responsabilidad de los intérpretes, sino de todas las personas presentes. Nos pueden ayudar hablando a un ritmo moderado, voz alta y claramente. Y si tienen alguna dificultad con Zoom, no sufran en silencio. Favor de dejarnos saber a través de la caja chat. Zoom con interpretación ya ha sido encendido y hay un globo en la parte baja de sus pantallas con un mensaje sobre la interpretación de idiomas. Si están aquí con su computadora, si están aquí con su tableta o teléfono inteligente, van a ver 3 puntitos a mano derecha al pie de su pantalla. Seleccionar los 3 puntitos o el globo terráqueo, elegir el idioma en que les gustaría participar y escuchar durante esta sesión. Asegúrese de poner finalizado o dan. Favor de solo participar en el lenguaje que hayan seleccionado. Ahora digo esto en inglés. Hi everyone, my name is Abraham and along with Erwin, we'll be interpreting in English and Spanish during today's session. Creating a multilingual space is not only the responsibility of the interpreters, but of everyone here. And you can help us out today by speaking at a moderate pace, loudly, and clearly. And if you're having any difficulty with the interpretation feature, please let us know through the chat and don't suffer in silence. Zoom with interpretation has been turned on. You'll see a globe in the lower part of your screen if you're here with a computer. If you're here with a tablet or cell phone device, you'll see 3 dots on the bottom right-hand side corner of your screen. You might have to scroll to see the 3 dots. You can select the 3 dots or the globe and select the language that you want to participate and listen in. And also make sure to hit done. And if you have any difficulties, please let us know through the chat. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, and many thanks to our interpretation team and all of you who join us today. I'm Patty Branco with the National Resources Center on Domestic Violence. I'm wearing a green top, or perhaps this is still, and yellow gold jewelry. I have brown skin and shoulder length curly hair. Before we begin, we would like to review some brief housekeeping notes with you. To create an accessible and multilingual space, we minimize the use of the chat function. It's difficult to translate in real time, and it can be a challenge and inaccessible to assistive devices. So please feel free to pose any questions in the Q&A pod. This event features live captioning. You can access this feature by clicking the show captions icon at the bottom of your screen. We are recording the event and we send the recording to participants as soon as it becomes available. Please reach out to our staff if you're experiencing any accessibility or technical issues, and we'll do our best to help. So welcome to today's webinar, When the Work Hurts, Managing the Impact of Moral Injury and Career Sustainability in Mission-Driven Work. First, we gratefully acknowledge the Native peoples on whose ancestral homelands we gather, as well as the diverse and vibrant Native communities who make their home here today. Today, I am joined from the land of the Catawba, Shira, Sugari, Wateree, and Waxhaw people. If this is the first time that you're joining one of NRCTV's webinar, we would like to invite you to connect with us. NRCDV is a national technical assistance provider working to strengthen the capacity of programs responding to domestic violence victims and their families by promoting effective public policy, institutional response, and research and engagement in prevention. We work with many other organizations and partners who bring various expertise, backgrounds, and perspectives to improve community response to domestic violence and prevent its occurrence. NRCDV knows that domestic violence is preventable and ending domestic violence takes vision. We promise to lead boldly in centering and amplifying voices of survivors in traditional marginalized communities. We promise to make you feel valued, inspired, equipped, and informed in each and every interaction you have with NRCDV. And we promise to provide opportunities to make you feel invested and connected in the movement to end domestic violence. It's my great pleasure today to introduce you to a very dear partner and beautiful human being, Dr. Johnanna Ganz, the founder of J. Ganz Consulting. Dr. Ganz works towards building sustainability for mission-driven agencies and their people. As a data nerd and bookworm, Dr. Ganz specializes in weaving together research, policy, best and emerging practices, and people's lived experience to foster real change for mission-driven people and their agencies. Before I pass the floor to Dr. Ganz, I'm thrilled to share that we are actually releasing today a technical assistance resource to accompany this webinar. So please check out How Does Moral Injury Show Up in the Domestic and Sexual Violence Field and What Can Advocates Do? Written by Dr. Ganz. The link to the resource will be shared in the chat in a couple of minutes. So thank you so much. And Dr. Ganz, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I just saw Hallie in the chat. Hey, we worked at a shelter together in Ohio, as noted. I also see we have a lot of fine folks from Indiana and Wisconsin, also states I've lived in. But no matter what, whether I've lived in your state or not, I'm really, really excited to be here. So first, I just want to say thank you to the National Resource Center on Domestic Violence for inviting me to have this conversation with you. And huge shout out especially to Patty, who has made this process as easy and smooth as possible as she's worked in collaboration with me and with the whole team. So, we're going to talk about a pretty serious subject today. One of the things I want you to know as we go through this is to really take care of yourself. When I say that, what I mean is if you need a break, take a break. If something hurts, pay attention to it. It's trying to tell you something important, usually. So do what you need to be present, and you can always come back and watch the recording later. So I realized I skipped the brief introduction of, or brief description of myself. So I am a, oh wow, y'all, sometimes your brain just draws that blank immediately. That's just what happened. So I am a trans person with a shaved head. Today I'm wearing quite a bit of makeup and I got my nails done. Wearing a white houndstooth pattern shirt with black checks on it. And I think that's probably pretty solid. So that's me. I'm really excited. I see some other folks from around Minnesota are also here. So again, just really, really, really thrilled to be here with you all. So now that we have put the little note, please take care of yourself. Let's get into this. So in the title, it starts with talking about being in mission-driven work. And one of the things that is always really important is to define What do we mean when we say mission-driven work? So, most mission-driven work is really extensively focusing on how do we improve quality of life? How do we improve the quality of our futures together? It can be focused on animals or the environment. It can be focused on human services and social services. But at its core, mission-driven work is almost always focused on making it better for all of us. So you'll know you're in mission-driven work because most mission-driven agencies and people have one or two areas where they focus their time, their effort, and their energy to have the greatest impact on that issue that they're focused on. So many of you are going to be working either in domestic violence or around domestic violence because it's the National Resource Center on Domestic Violence. All of the programming in a mission-driven environment really works to support seeing that impact come to life. Mission-driven work is extremely rewarding for almost all of us. However, it's often really rooted in high difficulty labor. So what that means, because it sounds a little bit, theoretical, it's really focused on what is the nature of the work and what kind of toll does it take on you. So when we say high difficulty, that might be physical labor, but it can also be emotional labor. Listening to some of the worst things that have happened to people, sitting with them in the hardest moments of their lives, and still walking out as a whole human is extremely difficult. There's lots of different types of difficulty in the labor. Sometimes it's just the weird hours of getting a call in the middle of the night that you got to go to a medical advocacy. Or sometimes it's also about, there's nobody to fill the crisis line shift, so you take an extra one. It's always in the context of that focus area of impact. And most of us keep sticking with it even when it's really hard because we want to improve that quality of life for others in the future. So the last piece about mission-driven work and mission-driven people is that our values anchor not just our organizational design, but it also anchors us as people. My guess is that many of you have worked in different environments or for different agencies across your life. And you may have stayed at some because you really, really identified with those values. And sometimes you might have left because you didn't see the values being reflected in the decisions that were happening within the agency. Or you realized that your values and the agency values didn't have enough overlap for you to stay. So the values that structure mission-driven work either draw or deter employees on a really regular basis. So we want to talk about mission-driven work because it's work of the heart most of the time. There isn't really great pay. There's no glamour involved. And because most of our work is grant funded, there's not even a stable job half of the time. You're just hoping it gets funded again. So when we think about the mission is often what holds us. And so when we are asked to do things that cause us harm, when we are asked to do things that cause others harm, it deeply impacts us as people because it is our values and it is our heart work most of the time that has kept us there. So to violate the values isn't just a weird work decision. It feels like a deep violation of the sense of self and what you believed was the right thing to be doing using your paid employment. So that's going to get us right on in. My request to you, there's 215 of you, which is amazing. Keep this answer short, 5 to 7 words, so we can kind of get a feel for it. How do you know when your work, so your daily paid employment, is aligned with your personal values? Give me a couple of things. How do you know? I see it when you want to go to work, excited to do projects. I feel energized or passionate, feeling proud, excited, fulfilled, seeing others succeed, having balance in your life, seeing the fruits of your labors and thinking, that's why I do this. Despite the stress, I still feel fulfilled. Positive experiences, outcomes that reflect the philosophy. When my voice is valued and supported. Not having to journal about, is this ethical? Oh, that feels so connected. Changes in your outlook, feeling what you're doing is right. You can sleep at night well when it feels meaningful. You don't feel exploited. Okay, these are going to keep rolling in. I'm starting to see some real trends here. And it's often really about how you show up to the work and what it feels like to be there. I had a second prompt in case we couldn't get anything out of that first one of what are typical signs for you. But I think you all have already answered this question really well. And if you haven't yet answered, what's your typical sign? So the reason I want you to think about your typical signs. Oh, yeah, thank you. I don't feel ashamed. The reason I want you to think about your typical signs is because often for many of us, we don't think about this stuff really intentionally. It might be working in the back of our brain. We might be thinking about it, when we have that conversation with a friend, or we're meeting up with a partner and we're chatting about our days, right? We might think about it in those moments. But we don't often spend a lot of time intentionally thinking, what are signs that this is aligned for me? Oh, when work doesn't feel like work, sense of belonging. You don't walk away, feel fed and not drained. Don't have to make excuses about decisions made. Don't feel like you have to compromise your beliefs. These are really great examples. So if any of you were kind of in the position of, Johnanna, I don't know how to tell if I'm aligned or not. These are really, come back to this chat and look through it again. Maybe it'll spark something for you. But I want you to know what your signs are. Because if we don't know what our signs are, we don't know when it's time to go because the work is taking too much out of us. The work is hurting us too deeply. So let's actually start getting into when the work actually hurts us. So let's talk about moral distress at work. If you jump over to the TAQ after this webinar, you're actually going to see 3 terms used: moral distress, moral injury, and moral suffering. There's lots of agreements and disagreements in the research. We're going to talk about moral distress and moral injury as related, but a little bit different from each other. Once again, in the literature, there's lots of fights about which term to use, which one is right. but we're going to use them pretty interchangeably here. So, moral distress is when we often know an ethical path forward. So I want you to think about times you've been at work, times you've been thinking about things at work. And when you looked at that process, you thought, that's clearly the right way to go about this. And then you run and you talk to a supervisor, a colleague, a funder. You say, I think this is the way we should go. And they say, actually, we're not going to do that because our funder won't allow it. It would negatively impact our partners in such a way that we're not willing to stand by that decision. So distress can start to arise when there's an ethical path known, and then there are situational or institutional limits on what we can do. Many of us over the last 3 months have experienced a lot of really scary moments like this, where we look at our organizational values and we say, the decision is clear of what we should do here, what is morally right. And then we find out we'll lose all of our funding if we keep going this way. We may or may not have partners that'll work with us. So those constraints start to impact us as people. So moral distress comes out when we see something, say something, do something, etc., that violates our personal morals, our value system, or our ethical codes. Almost all people have a personal system by which they decide what is right or wrong for them personally. This is a quick plug. You don't get to decide what's right or wrong for other people as a whole. So it's our personal codes. So moral distress starts to show up when something is violating that. And what's really important out of the research on moral distress is that it occurs when we perpetrate the act. So we do it, we do the thing. When we are witnesses to an immoral or unethical act, or if we fail to prevent it. So the example I always give is when you're sitting in a meeting and somebody says something that you know isn't right, do you sit there and say nothing? Do you weigh the consequences of, I think that's my boss. That's my boss. What if they fire me for saying something? Or do you sit there, say nothing, and then after the meeting, run and find somebody and say, can you believe that happened? What a terrible thing. But we didn't act. We witnessed it. And sometimes we are the ones who are doing it. All of those lead to an experience of moral distress. So it's not just I did the thing, I saw it, or I failed to prevent it. Will have the same outcomes. I'm going to pause and check the chat. One of the biggest issues in working in the domestic violence sector is when our funders get to tell us how to help people or not. Absolutely. So it's very common right now. That's happening a lot right now. So distress in the literature is kind of a precursor. It's like the first starting place that we experience real challenges. You'll see the picture on the right is a shattered compass. We can still read the compass, but it's harder to understand it. So then we get into moral injury. So moral injury is usually from the damage of distress compounding. So distress is, think of it as like kind of lower level for some folks. Moral injury is when that distress keeps happening. Think of it like paper cuts. That might be an easy way to connect into this. So you got these paper cuts, and this one little paper cut doesn't feel good. It doesn't make your life easier in any way. But one little paper cut is still usually pretty manageable for folks. Moral injury is like you just keep getting a paper cut in the same spots or in very close to the same spot. Suddenly, this tiny little paper cut starts to get bigger, starts to hurt more. The wound gets bigger because there's more cuts around it and it can't heal. That is when we start to see what some folks talk about as moral injury. And it is when we experience damage done to our sense of self, our conscience, or our moral compass. So this is not just like a cracked compass. Our compass got squashed, shattered, and thrown in the trash. The sense of self component is really starting to ask things like, how could I sit there and let this happen? What kind of person am I? What do I believe? And what am I doing? They don't match. And so, for many folks, some of the earliest signs are intense experiences of feeling personal shame. And shame, for all you Brene Brown people, I'm going to be honest, I've got some qualms with Brene Brown, but I do appreciate the distinction she makes around shame. Shame is when you think it reflects on who you are as a person. It's not something you did or didn't do. It's who you are. So, moral injury is indicated when we start to experience shame. We question who we are as people. We feel like less good people because these things are happening around us or a part of it. Others may feel really intense guilt. They start to experience changes in their sleeping patterns, eating patterns, social and behavioral patterns because it gnaws at them. And one of the other big indicators is an experience of betrayal. For some, you will experience betrayal by your institution or agency. Right now, as a trans person in the world, watching agencies change their stance on important progress has been deeply, deeply painful and feels like a betrayal every day. All of us have different identities and experiences and backgrounds that are currently under scrutiny, I think is the way to say this. And so we start to feel betrayal to see what we thought was an obvious answer suddenly become not so terribly obvious. And then I see someone chatted in, betrayal trauma never ends for victims or for peer advocates, survivors who work in the field. And our funders are suggesting to scrub pronouns and remove DEI language. I work at an LGBTQ center. Thank you for sharing. This is happening in many, many places. And increasingly, it feels harder and harder to stay. So that shame, guilt, and betrayal starts to become more and more prevalent. And it can result in something called moral disorientation. Moral disorientation, I'm going to read you straight up the definition. It is when you begin to doubt your own or others' goodness or their ability to do good. Moral disorientation can also be when you feel like you do not know what is right or wrong anymore, or that you no longer understand yourself or have a moral guide or code that includes you in it anymore. So it's not just, oh man, this is wrong. Like I don't like this. It starts to become, I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. I don't think my moral guide includes my actions. I am not a moral person anymore. And the thing about moral disorientation is that it's associated with really serious negative mental and social health outcomes. Moral injury and long-term moral distress. So let's just say it's that one paper cut. You see paper cut after paper cut, right? Having to heal all those little paper cuts or having to heal those big injuries. It results in severe and long-term, predominantly mental health issues. So this is where we see out of the research on war veterans, that's where moral injury kind of came out of first. Really thinking through things like anxiety disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, as well as other severe mental health issues that come with this long-term question of, what kind of person am I? Because that's the question at the end of it. What kind of person am I?
Hi, Johnanna. We have a question in the
Yes.
chat from Samantha. What is the difference between moral disorientation versus complexity?
Oh, I want to make sure that I'm understanding this question correctly. So when you say moral complexity, you mean like different moral positions and like the diversity of views on what is or isn't moral, correct?
Samantha, if you want to share any clarification in the chat, go for it. Or I'm not sure if you can unmute. Maybe you can ask to unmute and explain further. Samantha says thanks.
Okay, not sure if you can. Okay, here goes. Samantha's going to try. Yes.
While Samantha clarifies further, it looks like we have another question that came through from
Let's
Anne.
do it.
What about when the hurt comes through those in power instead of the workload of working with survivors?
Oh, that's really, really common. It's really common. It's actually our agencies and our policy and process is usually a greater source of moral injury for a lot of folks. So I'll give you a quick example because I always believe in being a little bit honest about my own experiences and mistakes I've made. I worked for an organization where I became a part of the leadership team. I didn't really want to be a leader, to be quite honest, because I thought it sounded like a real pain in the ass. But it came down that it worked out in such a way that it was the option. So I chose the leadership option. And I remember thinking when I first got into the leadership position, I'm going to be the change I want to see here. I'm going to help try to make this place different than what we're doing because it doesn't feel right all the time. And then over time, a matter of like 6 to 9 months, I found myself doing all the things that I had previously criticized other leaders in the agency for doing as immoral, as wrong, as fundamentally bad. I found myself in a moment of severe moral disorientation where I genuinely would look in the mirror and think, I don't even know me anymore. And so when we think about that moral disorientation, when we think about that position of power, for many people, it comes through being in that position of power, but it also comes from experiencing people in positions of power making decisions. Sometimes it's the best decision they can make at that time, and sometimes it's just not. So I want to be really clear. Moral distress and injury do not just happen because of the work with survivors. It actually happens from a lot of places and for a lot of reasons. So thank you for bringing that forward. I see we have the clarification from Samantha on complexity versus disorientation.
Yeah.
When faced with moral complexity, meaning many things can be true, different people can have different positions on morality, we might experience a really small amount of moral disorientation. We might get there and be like, I never thought of it that way. oh my goodness, wait, what does this mean for my moral code? If that can be true, what does that mean over here? That can be a really important moment where we're not fully disoriented, but we are being asked to think deeper. Moral disorientation really shows up when we no longer believe that we or other people can be good, that we don't know what's right or wrong at all, and that we may or may not see that our moral code includes us. So, complexity challenges us to grow in interesting ways and in important ways as people. Moral disorientation primarily does harm to us in the immediate and the long term. It actually requires really intentional repair, which is discussed in depth in the TAQ. So I want to just make sure. Brecken, am I missing any other questions so far?
No, that was everything. Thank you so much. And folks, yeah, can continue to share in the chat or Q&A pod for further questions.
Yes. Beautiful. That's a great question. Really, truly, these are great questions. And thank you for sharing in the chat with each other. So, moral disorientation, pretty big. So we know that moral injury has a pretty gnarly impact on us. So now I want to take a moment and have a group chat in. Where do you see moral distress come up most frequently in your work? Now, time out before you start typing. This is not the time to call people out in the chat, whether they're here or not. So this is not a chance to shame or judge other people. I do want you to think about patterns rather than individual instances. So think about the patterns. Where do you see low-level, paper-cut kind of distress things come up in work? Thank you. Between the hierarchy. What other patterns do you see come up that bring up moral distress for us? Us versus them mentality, funders and mission, decision making. When people avoid conflict, oh shoot, I lost it. When people avoid conflict that leave it until it's a crisis and HR has to get involved. Y'all, I do management coaching and regular coaching. That is a huge component of my coaching, is helping people get through the conflict early. So yeah, hear that. Comments that are jokes, when there's nothing you can do about that thing. See, working with insurance companies, holy moly, yes. When the decision is leaving others behind, not being able to share full information and decision making, yeah. BIPOC trainings, us versus them, management, policy, protocol, us versus them again. As a leader, you can't please everyone, so consistently having to make choices that you know won't be well received. When team solidarity only occurs during staff meetings or when it's convenient for leaders. Navigating the legal system, outside pressures. Yeah, y'all, these are good examples. Thank you for applying this. And because we're talking about really hard stuff, these are very generous contributions. It's not easy to talk about the moments that cause us real pain in our work. So when money's involved, conflicting ideas on a team, absolutely. So how about a step up? How about when it's a deep injury? And I want to make sure to say this because I don't think I said it on the last slide. Moral injury isn't just the little paper cut. Sometimes it's a really severe and big injury. So where as trends and themes do you see moral injuries happening in your work? When you take it home with you, the constant focus on cops and legal justice is the only answer. When there's priority differences. When legal and justice systems plain out get it wrong. Compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma. Invalidation. Not recognizing as an agency that we are part of a greater oppressive system and we can do something with that. Immigration problems, mandated reporting, when staff are expected to fix problems, when boots on the ground employee concerns are not validated or heard, when we lack the power to change or rectify problems. not believing or caring about other survivors, feeling unheard and unsupported, being told my clients aren't real survivors because they're queer. Moral injury is occurring when organizations are removing and scrubbing DEI and are the very organizations that should be standing up. When we still use he and she as shortcuts to talk about survivors and perpetrators. Highly paid trainers. Oh, I missed it. There's still more coming in. When limits are set on services, when there's no action taken for bringing up a problem, the erasure of people both personally and professionally by funders. No amount of scrubbing DEI language. This keeps coming up, so I'm just going to name it. No amount of scrubbing DEI language erases us, all of us, in the diverse array of human experience. We will never be erased, and we will never be silenced. But you can make it harder for us to speak up, to be heard, to be valued. And I say us in a very collective way because all of our liberation is bound to each other. My freedom cannot come at the cost of somebody else's. My liberation cannot exclude anyone because it is always on all of us. If any of us are not free, if any of us are bound by conditions that keep us stuck in violent and oppressive systems and process, we are not free. You are being hurt by the same system, even if you don't see it. Okay, so I see another couple other folks really coming in. People actually die as a direct result of work culture. We're going to talk about this very briefly. Chronic work stress leads to really severe physical health outcomes. Things like heart failure and disease increase. Things like we see increases in Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia in chronically stressed populations. We also see a huge number of genetic changes. So it's not just what's happening to you because of a chronically stressed environment. If you're a person who has children, biological, genetic, if you have genetic people in the world that are partly you, you're actually passing on those markers and those genes. So when we think about the impacts of this stuff, when we think about the impacts of moral injury and moral distress and working in chronically stressful environments, it's literally life-changing. I've had clients who died of a stroke. Yes, it's difficult to provide referrals knowing the person you're referring to is not going to see themselves in the mission, vision, and values. Fear makes us fold in and lose sight of the work. Yes. And this is not where we stop. New mom of a baby girl, and I think about how this job has affected me as a mom. Yeah. One thing that I want to make really clear in this conversation, it's never just on an individual to figure this out. People are our greatest resource. Community is our greatest resource. And community and relationships that never have conflict are not actual community and relationships. Y'all, I am a white Midwesterner who was assigned female at birth. I was raised in a culture of conflict avoidance, being nice, and making sure that I don't ruffle feathers. And so we really, truly need conflict skills to build the kind of compassionate and connected community that we need to actually repair the experiences of moral distress and injury in our lives. An individual cannot take on a whole system and succeed. That is some bullshit Aaron Brockovich TV movie stuff. Thank you, Patty. Yes, healing is an act of communion. Y'all, don't get me wrong. I did love Aaron Brockovich. Still, when I was a teenager, loved it. And it's really inspiring. But Aaron didn't do it alone. When you actually look into the Aaron Brockovich case, she had dozens and dozens and dozens of people in her corner helping fight that fight. None of us do it alone. We need our agencies to be on board of caring for us too. We need to be on board and caring for our coworkers, even the one coworker you really don't like. Even their liberation is bound to yours. So how are we showing up to the responsibility of community? Because it's part of how we get out of this. Okay, I'm going to move us forward and keep talking. Thank you again for all of your really generous contributions. So my guess is by now you kind of get the vibe. This is bad. Here are documented expectations of what happens when we do not get support and repair for moral distress and injury at work. It actually amplifies the daily harm of working in chronically stressed environments. I'm gonna pause. I keep using the phrase chronically stressed environment, and I want to be clear on what that means. It means the nature of the work in and of itself is a stressor. It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's awful. It doesn't mean you have to quit right now. But it is deeply stressing as an environment. And what we know from the organizational development literature is that chronically stressed environments need extra supports and care in order to manage the harm that can come from chronically stressed environments. We can stay in chronically stressing work for a very long time when we have organizational and collective supports to process and manage that stress. So when I say that you're experiencing daily harm, it's not to say that it's hurting you so badly you have to leave, but you are experiencing daily harm in most of your days in a chronically stressing environment. So when we add in layers of moral distress and injury, it takes what's already hard as a job and makes it harder and more painful. You will likely experience increases of traumatic experiences at work. Now, I want to be careful here. Right now in our culture, we talk about a lot of things as traumatic or traumatizing or trauma, when it's usually just distressing or upsetting. So when I say it increases a traumatic experiences, what I'm saying is the events are so devastating that they overwhelm your skills, your capacity, and your support systems for managing and responding to the experience. So, moral injury increases our traumatic experiences. It actually decreases, the more often we experience moral distress and injury, the harder it gets to recover. The more we experience, the worse the injury is, the longer it takes to recover. One of the things that we consistently see, especially in times of severe moral injury like we are going through right now as a field, is increased intense interpersonal conflict. Y'all, I've worked as a professional development coach for a number of years now. I love it. I love working with folks. I have seen an unbelievable increase in the number of coaching sessions I spend on very intense conflict over sometimes very small stuff. Sometimes it's big stuff. But what the research shows us in moral injuries is as those injuries are not attended to, our emotional behaviors either increase intensity toward hyper reactivity, meaning it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, no matter what the size of the thing, or it pushes us toward numbness, where we suppress all emotional responses. An example of what that can sound like is you have a coworker who used to care about your feelings, and all of a sudden you hear them say, "Your feelings are not my issue to deal with." That's numbness in some cases coming out. How many of you, when you turn inward, how many of you under deep stress head toward numbness? Meaning no feelings at all. I don't want to feel it. I want it to be quieter. Shh, 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 shh. Feelings. How many of you actually lean toward hyperreactivity? It's bigger. Everything gets bigger. Everything gets louder. Your happiness, your sadness, your anger, your frustration. I'm a numbing person in most instances. Y'all, I was just telling folks earlier today, I've been very into this game called Spiritfarer. It is a numbing technique. I can get lost in this cozy little game for a few hours to not have to feel my feelings. So I'm a numbing person. Who are you? See, dissociation station, walls up like Alcatraz, isolation. Ooh, we got some Spiritfarer, folks. Okay, we can nerd out about the game later. Lock yourself in your office. You're a numbing person, numbing in humor. Who here, my partner is one of these people. Who here is like a hyper reactivity person of like all of a sudden there's a fork left on the countertop and it's like a crisis of like, oh my God, how could this fork be here? Oh, we got some hyperreactive folks. Yep, yep, yep. All of us will use all of the strategies of emotional response to be very, very clear. Most of us lean toward one side or the other as kind of like our comfort space. I'll pick numbness every time if I can. And if that doesn't work, all of a sudden I'm flying off the handle because there's a pen on the ground that shouldn't be on the ground. Ooh, so I see folks kind of depends on stressors. Some of you are hyperreactive folks, numbing and then anxiety, tea. I'm drinking lemon and honey tea right now because tea is amazing. Being hypersensitive. Yeah, okay. Yeah, numbness can be a safety thing. Heck yeah. Hey, Perla. Oh my gosh, y'all. I see so many folks on this list of folks I know. Thank you all for coming. Okay, so the point is we start to see way more interpersonal conflict that gets harder and harder to resolve because of trying to manage these daily pains and the way it's impacting all of us. So, yeah, numbness as safety. Oh, quite a few of you said numbness as safety. Same. So, the last little bit on the impacts of career sustainability, it escalates the experience of clinical burnout. Once again, culturally speaking, we talk about burnout as like just this normal run of the mill thing, that it's not a big deal. Clinical burnout is a very severe and serious long-term mental health condition that's actually disabling to workers. So moral injury and distress increases our clinical burnout, meaning we're experiencing additional mental health outcomes that are extremely, extremely difficult to recover from. On average, in the human services research, it takes anywhere from 1 to 10 years to recover from clinical burnout. More recent research, that's older stuff, more recent research is finding up to 4 years later, people still have not recovered full capacity and ability from pre-burnout experiences. We're talking years of recovery, not a weeks-long vacation, not even a month, years. So the impact on career sustainability is massive. Moral injuries happen when our work demands us to abandon our humanity in order to keep a job. Anybody on here independently and magically wealthy and can just afford to not have to work ever again in your whole life? Please don't actually say yes. I mean, you could. But, oh man, Amber, Melissa, y'all, hey, y'all. Oh my gosh. Most of us cannot afford to just ditch out on work. And most of us don't want to work in a job that feels soulless to us. So when we think about the structural elements, it's when bigger structures ask us to abandon our humanity. That is part of moral distress. And I see that would be so amazing. We deserve abundance. Yes, yes, we all deserve abundance. It relates to health outcomes. Yeah, a lot of yes. I'm just agreeing with the chat. I realize you may or may not be reading the chat with me. So I really want to just make it clear. Moral injuries at their core are asking us to abandon our basic humanity. Here's why. Humans are a social species. You can also use the word communal species here. The key element about social or communal species is that it is through their relationships to others that they survive. Typically, moral injuries, especially at this moment in time, are when we are being asked to treat someone else as not human enough, as not counting enough. It's asking us to violate the very thing that allowed humans to evolve as they have. Communal species only survive when the group cares for each other. Moral injury is happening because you are being asked to stop that process of communal and collective care, of holding everybody as important. And so many people experience that moral disorientation. They experience that, what kind of person am I? I know I should speak up about that DEI language being scrubbed, but I can't afford to not earn the money to have the health insurance to where else am I going to go? And so we have to be less human. And that hurts all of us. I see the quite a bit's going on in the chat. I'm going to try to catch up as best as I can. Yeah, this work is usually a calling. It's a want and a need to support and care for others. And our opportunities to do that is being changed very deeply. Communal species only serve. Oh, yeah, Brecken, yeah. So literally the government is causing moral injury for many of us. Because this is a federally funded webinar, do not think I should. I'm gonna just thumbs up that for now. So many of us, yes, many of us, because of the nature of the funding changes, because of the nature of what is being asked of us, we're asking to deny our most basic and fundamental biological process, which is to care for community and to show up in collective work. Yeah, saying the important thing out loud is not allowed. Yes, I'm going to just hold space for that. It is really scary. It's really overwhelming. And so this now actually gets us to a tool. Many of us in states of chronic stress will also respond from a place of deep, deep fear. It's actually a heuristic, which is a fancy psychological term for shortcut. We all come with mental shortcuts that are pre-programmed into how the human brain functions and thinks. And one of the heuristics or shortcuts is actually to overemphasize possible risk from a place of fear. So, for many of us, when faced with these moments of moral distress or injury, we think, well, I either say everything, flip the table, quit my job, tell my boss where to stick it in the sun doesn't shine, or I say nothing and I just let this happen. This is a tool to start helping you think about, how can I take action? Because moral distress and injury show up when we perpetrate, witness, or fail to prevent. You're going to get hurt even if you just watch it happen. You're going to get hurt if you knew it might happen and you did nothing. So, this is a personal action and risk assessment tool. It helps you break down actions. So, in our first slot, bright green, very happy number 1. This is a personal action and risk level that is, you've done it before, you're comfortable with this strategy and the risk associated to the strategy. You'll continue doing it because you've already done it and it feels good to you and right and moral and aligned. And you will accept any risk that comes with it because it's the lowest level risk. I will give you a real and lifetime example. My bow tie. My bow tie is a level 1 risk for me. It is the Progress Pride flag colors in a slightly different pattern. I feel extremely comfortable being a proud member of the queer and trans community. And increasingly, I am being asked to not mention those facts. I'm asked to not acknowledge me. This is a very small risk that I feel very comfortable taking. I accept whatever. Who's going to tell me a dress code when I'm my own boss? So that's an example of a level 1 risk. Level 2 is our yellow. Yellow means it's new or maybe a little bit more advanced than we're used to as a strategy. We're going to be uncomfortable doing it. It's going to be a little scary, but we're willing to give it a shot because we're willing to manage the risks that come with it. Of, oh, this might not go great, but it's the right thing to do, so I'm going to try. So that's our level 2. Our level 3 is we have not done it before. It would push us into either straight up panic or genuine and really unsafe environments. We would not do this strategy, and we need to evaluate what is the impact of my inaction on me? What are the risks to me and others if I do nothing? So, everybody has a different level of risk. I actually just had this conversation with somebody the other day, and they said, Johnanna, I am a mother of 3 children. I'm a single mother. I cannot afford to speak up in a meeting because I cannot afford to lose my job. I got 3 kids counting on me. And so what I was suggesting as an action wasn't actually a fit for her because she's a single mother of 3. That's a risk level I don't experience, y'all. I just have silly little cats. I've got 2 very silly, beautiful little cats that I have to feed. No kids. So that's not a risk I worry about. When we assign risk and action, we really want to think about what would move my 3 down to a 2. How could I modify an action to make it less scary? And how can I modify my 2s to become 1s? Do I just need to practice it? Do I just need to try and see how it goes? Do I need to make a small adjustment in my language or how I'm talking about it? But our goal in risk and action planning is to practice moving forward toward getting more comfortable speaking up. Another example, I used to feel extremely uncomfortable and like it wasn't my space or place to speak up with other white folks when they were saying or doing problematic things. I thought to myself, that's not me. Oh man, what if they get mad at me? What if they never speak to me? What if they fire me? What if this person, what? And then I started learning about the impacts on my BIPOC colleagues of my silence, on clients and survivors. I started to learn that my assumed level of risk was never as much risk as folks were actually experiencing. I was just scared, and I said to people I wasn't safe. But I was never once actually unsafe. I was just really uncomfortable and didn't know how to do it differently. So I actually used this tool. I use this tool regularly still of how do I escalate what I'm doing and saying to be more in line with the values I say are important to me. I say justice is important to me all. I am a double Libra with an Aries moon. Justice is extremely important to me. Are my actions aligning to justice? And if not, then justice isn't what's actually important to me. Safety is. Hiding is more important, protecting myself. So I use my value system to push me. So I want to give you practice using this tool. Yes, you're welcome. So here are your choices. Shout out to Libra placements. Yeah. Here are your options. We got A through F. I'm going to run 2 scenarios by you, and I want you to actually plot each one of these options. So, first scenario, I'm going to actually type this out. Someone says something wrong. Oh, I have it. I'm typing this into the chat. Okay, so I want you to pretend you're in a meeting. Doesn't matter who says it. Anybody in the room is going to say it, okay? It's going to be anybody. Somebody says something that is actively, openly, and knowingly harmful towards a group of people that I am not a part of. It's not your identity, it's not your characteristic, it's not your social group, it's not you. So I want you to now start plotting as a practice run. Option A, indirectly disagree or change your nonverbals to indicate you disagree. So maybe you had open posture and then you move to like crossed arms. Where is A on a risk and action planning assessment for you? Is it a 1? You've done it before, you'll do it again, very comfy. Is it a 2? You haven't done it, or it's kind of more advanced and you're not sure. 3, absolutely not, Johnanna. I would never do that's not for me right now. Okay, whole bunches of 1s. Okay, cool. There's literally, hey y'all, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me what your numbers are on these. It should matter to you in your value system what your number is. I don't get to judge your value system on this one. Okay, so same scenario. Somebody says something actively harmful. You're not part of that group. How about B? You explicitly disagree, but without confrontation. So something like, I'm not sure about that, Johnanna, would be some kind of way of disagreeing without confronting, or like, I don't know if I see it that way. Is that a 1, a 2, or a 3 for you? Lots of 1s. Okay. So again, doesn't matter what your numbers are. There's no judgment on that. How about direct confrontation? You're going to grind this meeting to a halt, and you are going to say something like, that's really jacked up, Johnanna. Where does that land for you? Is that a 1? You've done it before. You'll do it again. Very comfy. 2, that's a little bit more advanced. I'm not sure I would try it, but it would be hard. Or is that straight up a 3, like, nope. Oh, we have a lot of variation. Some of y'all are saying depends on context. Okay, how about D? You would actually follow up afterwards through a chat message, an email, a text message. Where would digital follow-up fall into your risk and action planning? Okay, some ones and twos, some threes, okay. Some twos and threes. How about in person afterwards? So you wait until the meeting's over, you don't say anything in the moment, but you run up to me and you're like, Johnanna, can we talk about what you said in that meeting? Where is that in your risk and action planning assessment? And so then last, you file a formal complaint or grievance again. We're just going to use me. Just pretend it's me. You file a formal complaint or grievance about the thing that I said that is actively and knowingly harmful. Okay, so for you, for a lot of you, this is a 3. Okay. Respectfully address it. Okay. So for all of you, I see the context is, you always know you're working with advocates when context becomes super important.
Mhm.
Love y'all. Love y'all for that.
Well,
Okay. So when we think about this example, I want you to now change. So same basics. Someone says something that is actively and knowingly harmful towards a group you are a part of. How does your rating system change? And you don't have to answer me on that question. Y'all can just like sit with that. And if that rating system vastly changes, I want you to get really critical with yourself and your value system. Why did it change? Is the answer because it was a group you were part of? If that's the answer, that's okay. But I want you to get really critical on why you prioritize your group's survival, but not others. And I want you to get really curious, not critical. Critical is the wrong word. I want you to get really, really curious. I want you to be deeply curious. What would it take for your risk and action planning when it's not about you and your peeps to more closely match what it looks like when it is your people, your group, your folks? It may or may not change. For some of you, it may or may not change. But if it's a big, big difference, I want you to start getting critical, curious. Why is that? Okay, we're going to do this again because it says part 1 at the top. We're going to try a part 2. We're only going to do one thing here. We're going to do one example. Okay, so this is a supervisor. I'm going to do this. Supervisor asked me to do something unethical, even though we can do it differently, that better aligns with agency values and process. So this is your personal supervisor. Just pretend it's your personal supervisor. Oh, I want to make sure I just catch all this. This is valuable. Okay. Complexities of the group I belong to and fight about. I'm afraid of misrepresenting other groups or sharing misinformation. Yeah, absolutely. So what that tells us, if we stay curious with that, is maybe it's time to build community with other groups to be able to be a better accomplice to them. Maybe it's time to do some extra learning. Go out on a limb and like go get a book or a podcast or whatever, right? And all of us have places to grow. I am still growing every day. I make mistakes all of the time. Perfection is a violent result of Eurocentric institutionalized domination. We're not allowed to use the other words, so that's what we're using. So be an accomplice. Do not be an ally. Ally is a title that you get to use whether or not you're doing anything with it. An accomplice means you got skin in the game. You're putting something at stake too. You're risking your neck too. So let's go back to this supervisor. Supervisor's asked to do something unethical, even though you could do it differently, and says, too bad, you just got to do it this way. How many of you, as a risk, an action and risk planning, where would you put A? Engage in stalling, avoiding, or weaponized incompetence? For those of you who are like, what's weaponized incompetence? It's when you do things like, I don't know how to load the dishwasher correct. Can you load it for me? And you do that for years. So you never once have to load the dishwasher. You just do it so much better than me. You should probably load the dishwasher since I'm so bad at it. That's what we mean when we say weaponized incompetence. Okay, so I see. Thank you so much, Amanda. You would say you'd do that as a 3 because you actually would not do that as a strategy. Some folks might. Okay, so again, it's the supervisor issue. How many of you would be willing to take action that you would receive a verbal or written warning because you stood your ground and said, we don't need to do it that way and it doesn't align with our values? Write me up if you have to. How many of you, that is a risk you're willing to take? You've already taken it. You're willing to take it, right? 1, 2, or 3. Okay, a lot of 2, a lot of 1s, a lot of 2s. 3, ooh, baby, the military is a whole different beast. My sister was in for 14 years, 12 years, 14 years, somewhere in there. So I get that. Okay, how about C? Your supervisor tells you, I'm gonna put you on a performance improvement plan if you don't do it this way. How many of you are like, put me on a PIP? Go for it. Where would you put that? Is that a 1? It's happened before, you'll do it again. 2, it's an advanced level skill, maybe. Or a 3, no, I won't. I cannot be on a PIP. I didn't know I was doing it. Fired on the ethic. Okay. Oh, yeah. I will write the PIP myself. Yeah. Okay. I support as a consultant, so I have some space to express 1. Yep. Put me on the PIP. Okay. How about be fired? How many of you would be willing to take such a hard stance on this thing that where would being fired go on this list for you? And again, I want you to be really thoughtful. Maybe you have people who depend on you, kiddos or extended family or friends, and you can't afford to lose your job. How many of you would be fired and be fine and be like, I'll find a way. My community will hold me. Okay, so for a lot of you, this is like 2s and 3s. And there's lots of reasons how we get there. And then the last one, how many of you would flip the table and just be like, I quit. I'm done. I've always wanted to rage quit from a place, but have never found the right time to rage quit. Fired or not be hired. Some of my stances you've shared in social media will be inhibited. Yeah. Different story once the kiddos are grown. Absolutely. So, again, this is just a practice run. What would it take to move you from a 3 to a 2? For one person they've already identified, once the kiddos are grown, that goes from a 3 to a 2 or a 2 to a 1. Really start thinking. It's not all or nothing here, folks. We can respond to moral distress and injury with a whole range of choices in how we show up. It's never do something, do nothing. There's a whole range in the middle of what we can do. This is a tool that when you come across these moments, when you see the morally distressing event occurring, take stock of all the options you have. What's in your 1 bucket? What's in your 2 bucket? What's in your 3? And what would you need to move those numbers around? Yeah, that was the goal. Desiree said this is really empowering instead of don't act as the only options. Yes, because chronic stress pushes us to extremes in our thinking. And we have that mental shortcut process based on overestimating risk. This gets us out of it, and it helps us have choices. I want you to remember, even inaction is always a choice. I'm going to say it again. Even inaction is always a choice. We get to choose how we show up. And we have to choose what's right for us, but we have to be realistic about the actual risks we face, because we are, as humans, predisposed to overemphasizing risk. So let's get critical. Let's get curious about it. How do I move through 3s to 2s to 1s? Okay, so I'm going to do this very quickly because this is actually one of the areas I've heard a lot of feedback from folks of, well, I told my supervisor that's my boundary, and my supervisor did that thing anyway. Y'all, boundaries are tools of what you need and how you will respond. That's why that risk and action planner isn't about other people, it's about you. When we use our boundaries to make other people do what we want them to do, that is a tool of control and manipulation. That is not a healthy relational dynamic. When we share what we need and what to expect as responses, it's not about controlling others. It's about deciding your values-based actions on what you can and cannot accept. So when it comes to this moral injury question, it's not, I told my supervisor they have to do this. It's, if you choose this, I cannot stay working here and I will need to find another place to be employed. I would like to figure out how do we amicably separate, or whatever else it might be. Moral injury is a collective experience. Getting 3 might require a collective solution. Yes. Show up in numbers, my friends. So I want to slowly wrap us up because we're getting to about that time. I want you to really start thinking about, what are some practical or concrete signs that it's time for you to leave your role or the field? This is a conversation that isn't about you planning to leave. It's about you knowing when it's best for you to go. Every job carries risks and benefits. It's really important to know, what are your personal signs that the risks really outweigh the benefits anymore. To help you in that process, I have a couple of questions to just get you going. Take the questions that work, ditch the questions that don't work for you. What parts of my ethical compass can I accept not aligning with my work? Not all of us are going to have perfectly aligned work. So what's okay to flex on? What parts are not acceptable to flex on? What parts of me or my well-being shouldn't change because of my work? Social things, behavioral things, emotional process, financial behaviors. What should not change? And if it changes, it's a sign there's a problem. How do I want to feel after each working day? To what degree can I do that here at this job right now? Where can I make the most positive impacts in my employment? Does it need to be this agency or this specific field? So to really wrap you up, this is it. This is the message I need you to hear the most. Many people I talk to when they talk about leaving the field say, but the work can't stop. Babes, beautiful babes, the movement never stops. The movement happened long before any of this was paid employment. BIPOC, queer, and trans women, especially, have been doing domestic violence sheltering work, unpaid, as volunteers, as collective community members for so many years. So many years. Those beautiful 4 folks gave us the model that we now use as paid employment. Even if every shelter tomorrow closed, the work never stops. The movement doesn't cease to exist. It may change form and our strategies will need to change, but the work never stops because of our humanity. Our humanity pushes us to make decisions to build better, more whole, and more connected communities. And that is part of the process of healing from moral injury, is showing up in collective and community approaches and recognizing paid employment does not mean the movement. The movement always happens. And you can be part of it, whether it's paid or not. You are never stuck. There is always a choice. So how do you want to show up to that collective responsibility that we all have to ourselves, to each other, and to our communities? Because all of our liberation is bound to each other's. Always. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for this amazing, super generous conversation. I'm going to hand it back over to Patty. I ran us short on question time. I'm so sorry. I can stick around for a few extra minutes if you need me. Patty, you
Thank
beautiful
you.
human, over to you.
Thank you so much, Joanne. My heart's full. The work never stops because of our humanity. Wow, amen to that. Thank you so much for stretching our hearts and minds today. You are amazing. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. To learn about our new resources and upcoming events, please follow us on social media. And next.
Sorry, I was too busy clapping you up.
That's okay. So this event was made possible by a grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Administration for Children and Families, the Office of Family Violence Prevention Services. Its contents are solely the responsibility of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Thank you again to our amazing presenter and our amazing interpretation team. Kudos also to my colleagues here at NRCTV, especially Brecken, who's a rock star in the chat, and Fatima doing all the tech support. So thank you. And please be sure to respond to a brief survey about this session. The link will be shared in the chat, and we hope to see you at our next webinar. Thank you.
I'm hanging tight if there's questions. I don't know if there's going to be. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We call them Friday Eves in our household, so that way every day feels special. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. It's such a pleasure. Thank you for being here.